What's up, everybody? Welcome back. General Grievous and his rework is here, and we're getting his rework today. Droidica's coming out in a marquee event tomorrow, and there's been some really interesting stuff with the way he's supposed to be modded. His kit is not very typical of what you usually see. His kit asks for something very specific with modding. Droidica is something different too. There's a lot of different stuff going on with these droids, and it means that there's going to be a heavy focus on how to mod them, and there's a pretty good focus on how to Zeta them. There's 6 Zetas total, but there's 3 that are required, so we'll go through all that today. There's a lot to cover here, and I've got to say, the way that this team has to be modded, I really like it because it's different, it's unique, and I wish CG would do more of these in the future. But first, a quick word from my sponsor, Pimpo, aka the Mod Father. You guys have heard me advertise for him on here before. Does a really great service. We'll go into your game account, look at your mods, rearrange them. If you guys have guidelines that he wants, he will go ahead and rearrange those for you too. He is very highly recommended. I've had several patrons use him. They have come away with glowing reviews of him. He is great for what he does. So if you're looking to get that advantage, and whether it be GA or Territory Wars or even your Sith Raid, trying to beat out your guild members for that sweet loot, the top 10 spots, definitely something you want to invest in. So try reaching out to Pimpo today, get a quote on your account, see how much it's going to cost, but definitely something that you really should check out. So diving right into it here, talking about the Zeta priorities for a General Grievous droid team. There are a grand total of 6 possible Zetas on this team. You have 2 with General Grievous, 1 on his lead and 1 on his unique, and then each of these separate droids have a Zeta as well on them somewhere. Now, for this team, there are 3 required ones, and those are the General Grievous lead. Whenever they damage a target locked enemy, all droid allies gain some bonus turn meter. The B1 Zeta adds 50 stacks of the droid battalion buff to B1, and that helps make him more survivable, gives him a little bit more protection. So in case someone does a mass assist on him, it helps keep him alive a little bit longer, but also those additional stacks that he comes with will also add another 25% of crit avoidance and tenacity to your droids right at the start of the match. So that is really helpful, especially when you find those Revan teams, when Revan does the direct focus. Those bonus stacks of crit avoidance and tenacity is really going to help with keeping that droid alive. And then finally, the B2 Zeta. Whenever B2 applies a debuff to an enemy team, all your droid allies gain that 5% bonus turn meter. This is pretty big because B2 is going to be going quite a bit. He's going to be able to use that mass attack with the Dispel and the buff immunity quite often, and he also gets some nice debuffs on his basic too. So those 3 Zetas, there's a lot of turn meter boost to the team and also a lot of survivability with the B1 Battle Droid Zeta, just kind of helping keep your droid team alive and really helping fuel their turn meter. Now the General Grievous unique is coming in at number 4. It doesn't really add anything here that's really special that it's like a must-have, and same with the Droidica and the Magna Guard Zetas. They're nice, but they're very niche, they're very situational, and they're not something that you're going to be relying on to have your team really go. So there's no real need to focus on those 3 Zetas. Really prioritize the General Grievous, the B1, and the B2 Zetas first, and then go for the other 3 after that. So we're going to start things off here talking about the leader, the whole team this is based around, General Grievous. And for your goal for General Grievous, you want to go for stacking as much health as you can on him to help boost his overall damage. And with that in mind, your mod set should be 2 sets of health and then 1 set of the crit chance mod. And for the primary, you should go for speed on the arrow, crit damage on the triangle, and then health on both the cross and the circle, with your secondary priorities being speed, then health percentage, either one, and then crit chance after that. A healthy Grievous means that he's going to be able to deal more damage, and that means larger crit damage numbers as well. And then what you want to aim for overall is about 80 bonus speed, 50% bonus health on Grievous, and about 10% crit chance. Now what this all means is because Grievous is constantly stacking up his max health, and his damage is based purely off of his max health numbers. Offense has absolutely nothing to do with it. That means the more health you have on Grievous, the more damage he's going to deal overall, and you can get some monstrous crit damage numbers off of him as a result. So going for that max health and then also adding some nice crit chance secondaries is going to be able to help him land those monster critical hits, and especially when it comes to his unique, where he resets and gains bonus damage, that is going to be pretty big too. When it comes to modding your B1 Battle Droid, your first goal should be going for a high-speed droid with the ability to apply more target locks and also constantly buffing more often, getting more stacks of that droid of the battalion buff. And with that, you want to go for mod sets of offense and potency. You would think speed here, but because B1 is going to be assisting so often, really stacking up that offense on him, causing him to do a lot of damage, that's going to be very helpful. And then going for high speed secondary. So your arrow, you'll want to go for speed primary on the arrow, and then offense on the triangle and the cross. You don't really have to worry about health or protection because B1 doesn't really have that, and you don't have to worry about crit chance because B1 can't critically hit. So your secondary priority should be speed, then for some offense, and then potency after that. And a faster B1 means that you're going to stack that battalion buff more often, which means he's more survivable. It also means more stacks of crit avoidance and tenacity for your droid team too. And for your overall goal, aim for at least a bonus 80 speed on him, about 1,000 additional physical damage, and about 20% additional potency, you know, with the potency set. That should be pretty easy to achieve. And with my mod set, I mean, I was able to get 1,400 on him, I think, thereabouts. So 1,000 bonus offense with the offense primaries on the cross and the triangle, with the 6-stop mods really helping boost that offense percentage. It should be a very easy goal for you to attain. The only trick is you're going to be going for those high-speed secondaries. They also have some nice boost to your offense as well, because all of this together means that you're going to have a B1 that moves very often, constantly stacking those buffs, and also all that bonus damage from the assist and the healing and everything. It's going to be very helpful for your team. When it comes to modding your B2 Super Battle Droid, the goal here is very simple. Get very high tenacity, also stack some potency. And with that in mind, you should run 3 sets of tenacity mod sets on him, with the primaries being a focus of protection or crit avoidance on the arrow, and then with protection on the triangle, and then tenacity on the cross. And you really want to go for a secondary priority of tenacity, then potency, then protection. And why you need this is because that high tenacity is going to be able to prevent daze landing on the B2 droid. And what this means is without that daze, he is constantly going to be moving. He's going to be able to apply a lot of bonus debuffs, and you know that potency is going to help him land that buff immunity. The buff immunity is going to be very helpful for finding a lot of teams out there. And then you want to aim for about 70% bonus tenacity, 30% bonus potency, and about 15,000 bonus protection on B2. And all this comes together in a way that means that B2, you can't daze him, and then that means he's just going to constantly be going because you're hitting his allies, and he also gets the cooldown reductions, so that means he's going to be able to use his AoE Dispel more often, land those buff immunities, and that bonus potency is going to help mean that with his Zeta, when he applies bonus turn meter to your team whenever he lands debuffs, that's going to be very helpful because it means that he's going to be able to move very fast, apply those debuffs, and then your team is going to be so much faster for that. Now, when it comes to Droidica, the goal for him should be stacking very high offense and crit chance without stacking any bonus speed. And with that goal in mind, your mod sets for the Droidica should be crit chance and crit damage, and then the primary should be offense primary on the arrow, crit damage on the triangle, and then offense again on the cross. And your secondary priorities should be offense and then crit chance. And really, the whole reason for this is because he's going to be able to deal more bonus damage based on how slow he is versus the target. For your goals and what you want to aim for, go for about 1,200 bonus offense and about 30% bonus crit chance. Now, these mod sets on him is what we like to refer to as the Visas Mar mod set. You know, Visas, she gets a lot of assists, and we use her in the Sith Raid, and we run her with very high base offense, but no bonus speed, because that means you're able to stack more offense, more crit chance on her. She's going to be able to get more bonus damage for the Sith Raid. And the same thing is going to apply here with the Droidica. You know, the Droidica gets a lot of bonus charge buffs based on how many enemies move before he moves, and then those bonus charge buffs mean that he's going to end up dealing more damage with his specials, and those are based off of how slow he is versus the target. So the whole goal of Droidica is to keep him as slow as possible, but just boost his offense numbers as much as you can. And finally, the Magna Guard. Unfortunately, there's nothing really special about his modding needs. His goal should be high speed, bonus defense, you know, pretty much what you run on General Kenobi, and his mod set should be, unsurprisingly, speed and defense. For his primaries, go for speed on the arrow, protection on the triangle, the cross, and the circle. And then your secondary priority should be speed, then defense, then some bonus protection. A fast Magna Guard, pretty much, he's able to cleanse a lot of debuffs from himself and any Separatist ally. He can quickly regain taunt in case it's dispelled from him. and that's pretty much what his overall kit is, to constantly taunt and help cleanse debuffs from your team. And then what you want to aim for is about 80 bonus speed, 30% bonus defense, and about 30,000 additional protection stacked on Magna Guard. You know, there's really nothing special or unique about the way you want to mod him. It's pretty standard. It's kind of disappointing, honestly, when you look at the other characters here. And that, I mean, that's not too bad, because I mean, that means that he's going to be at least a reliable droid tank for your team, and the ability to constantly cleanse debuffs when attacking target locked enemies, that's going to be great. It's really going to help stack with his counter chance, so you can also use that to argue for maybe going for some bonus tenacity on him as well. But considering how many stacks of droid battalion you're going to have on B1, that should be more than enough tenacity for him overall. So that is pretty much going to be it for this video, guys. You know, there's some pretty unique modding layouts for these guys. It is really something I really like, and I wish we can see more of these in the future. So if you guys did enjoy this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. For all of us who are dealing with the snow like I am right now, hope you guys are staying warm and safe. And as always, guys, I will talk to you all later.